tistata, and accept those which are very favorable, which will lead him towards liberation. Mito medhyadanam shashvat, eating very frugally. Mitaha means very little, and medhya means pure. Eating simple, pure food of little quantity. Shashvat, always. Vivikta kshema sevanam, practicing in a secluded place, in a peaceful manner. So these are the recommendations for a yogi if he wants to perfect, if he wants to achieve the highest perfection of life. So one should cease performing conventional religious practices, gramya dharma nivrittischa, and should be attracted to those which lead to salvation, moksha dharma ratistata. Ratihi here is attraction. Moksha dharma ratistata. One should eat very frugally. Mita medhyadanam shashvat. Mita medhyadanam. And one should always remain secluded so that he can achieve highest perfection of life. Shashvat vivikta kshema sevanam. So in the purport, Prabhupada was explaining about these four aspects. What is this Gramya Dharma? What is Moksha Dharma? Why one should eat very frugally? Why one should practice in a secluded place? So Gramya Dharma means, generally Vedic literatures encourage people to follow Chatupurushartha. Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. Do a religious life. Earn through religious perspectives. Spend whatever you have earned for sense gratification. Once you are vexed up with this process, then think of liberation. This is generally Chatupurushartha, what Karma Kandiya system encourages, or most Vedic literatures encourages. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he has given a different understanding. There is something called as Panchama Purushartha, which we have to achieve in life, which is known as Prema Pumartho Mahan, love of God. So Bhagavatam starts with this same answer by Shukadeva Goswami. It says, Savai Pumsam Paro Dharmaha. The highest perfection of a religious person is, the highest perfection of religion is, Yato Bhaktir Adokshaje. That's what quoted by Prabhupada in the purport also. Bhakti to the Supreme Lord Adokshajaha. He is the highest religious perfection. Savai Pumsam Paro Dharma, Yato Bhaktir Adokshaje. And how this bhakti should be performed? Ahaituki apratihata. Uninterrupted, unmotivated. So if you do uninterrupted and unmotivated, the result is Yayatma Suprasidati, by which the soul becomes satisfied. Suprasidati. Prasidati means happiness. Suprasidati means excessive happiness. So this is where Bhagavatam is starting with its first instruction. So in Chaitanya Charitamrita also the same aspect has been discussed. It says, Ajnana Tamera Nama Kahiye Kaivalya Kaitava. Sorry. Dharma Artha Kama Moksha Vanche Adisaha. So the darkness of ignorance is called as Kaitava, cheating. Maya means illusion, that is cheating. Which begins with Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, Vancha, Adi Sabha, which begins with this religiosity, economic development, sense gratification and liberation. They are all considered as Kaitaba, cheating. Because they are trapping the living entity into material world. Like sense gratification, the more you enjoy, it wants more. Money, the more the person is attached to money, it will pull him to run behind money. So Prabhupada always quotes, money, money sweeter than honey. So one who is got that kida of money, he will run behind, he will not bother for any other situations, family, relationships, nothing. He is running behind that money. Tara Madhye Moksha Vancha Kaitava Pradana. Among these four, the most prominent one was liberation. Kaitava Pradana, this is. It's the foremost of the process of cheating. Yaha hoite Krishna Bhakti hoya antardhana. Because for this causes the permanent disappearance of loving service to Krishna. See, liberation most of the time is considered like merging into the absolute. Moksha, general understanding. So when there is intense desire to merge into the absolute, the point of serving the personality of Godhead in personality is vanished. That's why this moksha is considered as Kaitava Pradana. Krishna Bhaktira Bhadaka Yata Shubha Ashubha Karma Seha Eka Jivera Ajnana Tamo Dharma. So all kinds of activities, Shubha Ashubha Karma, all auspicious and inauspicious activities which are Krishna Bhaktira Bhadaka, which are detrimental in devotional service to the Lord, Seha eka jivera ajnana tamo dharma. These are all actions of the darkness of ignorance. Because all papa or punya, whatever activities we do, they bind the living entity to this material world. Auspicious are punya, inauspicious are papa. So all these becomes detrimental in discharge of devotional service to the Lord. Papa punya of this material world are detrimental in bhakti, devotional service. So in that purport, Prabhupada explains for this. Everyone depends upon dharma, artha, kama, moksha. But Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, due to his magnanimous character, can give more than salvation. Although by material estimation, salvation is of a quality superior to inferior interests of religiosity, economic development, sense gratification. Among these four, moksha is better because other three will bind you more into this material world. At least this is liberating from these material concepts. Moksha is superior to other three. Above salvation, there is the position of devotional service and transcendental love for the Supreme Lord. So above merging into the Lord, there is bhakti, devotional service, and there is love of Godhead, transcendental love of Godhead. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the bestower of this great benediction. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Prema Pumarto Mahan, love of Godhead is the ultimate benediction for all human beings. The best benediction what everyone can aspire. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, whenever somebody used to come and pay obeisances, he used to bless them by saying, Krishna Matirastu. May you become Krishna conscious, which is the highest benediction. So when you become Krishna conscious, automatically love of Godhead is achieved. Prema Pumarto Mahan. That's what he is saying. This is the highest benediction. Highest. Everybody is aspiring for anybody. If anybody meets a sadhu, he will go and meet the sadhu and ask for his blessings. The highest blessing is Krishna Matirastu, the love of Godhead. So about this eating process also, it is said in the Shastras, Dvav bhago purayed annais, toye naikam paripurayed, marutasya pracharartam chaturdam avasheshayed. Dvav bhago purayed. If you are having food, it should be half your stomach. Dvav bhago. In the stomach, if it is taken into 4 parts, 2 parts it is of food, what you eat. Dvav bhago purayed annaihi. Toye nekam paripurayed. Toyaha means by water. Ekam, 1 part you should fill it with, 1/4 of the stomach with water. Marutasya pracharartam chaturdam avasheshayet. The remaining chaturdam avasheshayet, 1/4 which is pending. Marutasya pracharartam, for air proper circulation. So you should have 1/4 of the stomach filled with water, 1/4 of the stomach filled with air, and 2/4 of the stomach filled with food. So why 1/4 of the stomach with air? How air is very significant. See, whatever we have fire in the body, which is considered as Jataragni. For fire to burn, you require oxygen. So when you have full levels of oxygen, the fire will be of highest category. Good digestion happens. So that's why it is saying 1/4 is left for the air so that there is proper oxygen, for proper digestion of the food happens. That Jataragni, the fire in the stomach will be fully efficient. And a person will never become diseased again. That's what Prabhupada is saying. He will avoid indigestion and disease. In this way, a yogi who is practicing spiritual life will be very comfortably managing his life by having proper regulated food. A similar thing has been explained by Krishna in Bhagavad Gita also. He says, Yuktahar viharasya yukta chestasya karmasu Yukta swapnava bodhasya yogo bhavati dukkha. A person who wants to become successful in yoga, he should follow or he should control 4 things, regulate 4 things. Ahara, the food. Swapna, sleep. chestasya, working, karmashu, recreation. So one who is temperate in his activities, one who is regulated in the habits of eating, sleeping, working and recreation, can mitigate all material pains by practicing this yoga system. So why it is important to have these 4 regulations? Ahara. If you eat too excessively, body will not support you for devotional service. If you eat too less, your body will not again support for devotional service. If you sleep too excessively, we become lazy. If you sleep too less, again body will be distracted. Like chanting time, we will always feel very drowsy. Body will be demanding sleep. So everything should be in regulated in manner. Then recreation. If somebody is too much into sense gratification, so he cannot focus on devotional service. Or if somebody is like workaholic, too much like donkey he is working, even he will not be able to focus on devotional service. So these 4 things should be regulated. So modern day, what is happening in our lives, outside world especially, when they are in the house, they will be thinking about office works. When they are in the office, they will be thinking about houseworks. We carry over everywhere and everything overlapped, because of which we struggle neither here nor there comfortably. The food, earlier days, the lifestyle was everything was cooked fresh. Everything was made with energy vitalization. Fresh and full of energy and nutrients. Nowadays, what is happening, maybe because of work or whatever related things, the biggest destroyer in our life we have brought into our house, refrigerator. How it is biggest destroyer? We cook for 1 week and keep it inside the fridge. And anything which is stored for 1 week, what will happen? It will ferment, and bacteria develops, and it says it is more dangerous to the health. And every time you bring out extreme cold, you put it into oven to bring it in a short span to extreme heat. The change of differences in the temperature are very acute. That in microwave, everything and all, they say the reactions of that microwave will destroy the nutrients in the food, and it will also destroy the person who is eating that food also. Too much consumption of microwave food will destroy the bodily functions. In that way, what is happening was, because of this laziness to cook or whatever reason, we are destroying our health. So all these things and all, because of contamination in food, because of pollutants in growing, everything are impacting on the personality, and by 30 years, people are becoming very much infected with many health diseases. And with these so many health diseases, and if you are required to practice yoga, is it easily possible? It's very difficult to practice yoga. Because body is not in their control, body cannot support them in their devotional service. And one more aspect was this secluded lifestyle. Yogi is supposed to practice in a secluded place. Why secluded place? The disturbances from the material world are too heavy. So sometimes somebody becomes very much infatuated, or somebody gets carried away that they want to practice yoga. There is a general saying that there was one person who was staying in a city. He became inspired. He came to some temple. He attended some class where it is said you have to practice yoga in a secluded place. He became too much inspired, and he went to forest. And while going to forest, he took one radio with him. Because whenever there is little opportunity, he can hear to modern news what is happening to the world, and stay connected with the world. So where is your secluded place here? You are carrying the whole kachada with you again there. So like that, what happens now? We are very much, before there was only one simple mobile with a keypad and with no applications and all. Simple. It is just used only to call people, to communicate, either SMS or call. The more the functions in the mobile started, the more we are becoming lazy and the more we are becoming inefficient. Now, if you ask any small calculation, immediately open your calculator. We stop using our brain. And it is said that because of this heavy functionality, the mobiles will emit very high radiation. That if you keep within your body, if you keep your heart, what will happen with this heavy radiation? One day you may get heart attack. And one more dangerous thing is we are carrying that earpods. Earpods have heavy magnets in them for the speaker to have the sound function. And they are heavily radiated systems because of Bluetooth connected technology. It always looks for any call is there, any information is there or anything. And because of the too much plugging into the ear with the so close radiation, that impacts your brain. Third, okay, if I'll not keep near my pocket, I'll keep near the waist. Two main organs are there near the waist. One is kidney, other one is the genitals, the semen producing system. So if you keep in the lower pockets, then either your kidneys will get affected or your semen generation will get affected. This excessive radiation. Earlier it was 2G, they bought 3G, now 4G, now 5G is there. Now very soon they wanted to introduce 6G. Then everything is vanished in our life. We used to see small sparrows, small birds. When these big towers have been established because of the radiation, they all dispersed, they all vanished. Because it impacts. The small living entities, they can pursue this radiation. We cannot be able to pursue, we may not be able to pursue. It is generally said that the moment you touch your mobile with your hand, 50% of your energy is drained out by that mobile. You just hold on to your mobile, 50% of your strength is gone. You become 50% weak. And one more thing we all started using is these smart watches. And where do we keep exactly the smartwatch? Where our nadi is there. And the smartwatches immediately destroy our nadi pulse. Sri Sri Radha Govinda ki. A long run of keeping this smartwatch will destroy your pulses in the body. The pulse rate, kapha, pitta, vata, all these things, generations. The tridhatu system will be distorted. So we may say we are all most advanced. No, we are all most degraded. And this degradation is in bodily health and many other aspects. And one more thing we also do is, while going to sleep, we keep mobile next to our pillow. So whole night that mobile will be looking for information. And that information is from your brain. Because that is attacking your brain in that way, subtly, that instructions. Whenever there is a message or something, it will glow open, the mobile will brighten, and immediately your night attention will go away to the mobile. Oh, some message has come. Or for example, most of the times when we go to bed, we'll think, we'll just open for 2 minutes what is happening in the world, we'll just want to know. After 2 hours, you'll always feel, oh, 2 minutes is not yet over. Your time is automatically being pulled away. You don't even know. So for a person who is interested in this practice of spiritual life, all these things should be maximum avoided. It should be used as per effectively. How much is required for service purpose? That's why it is called as yukta, regulated. So devotional service is primarily about controlling oneself. Where to expend his energy, where not to expend his energy. Like for example, we have that 6 things which are not favorable for devotional service. Atyahara, prayasascha, prajalpo niyamagraha janasangascha laulyamcha shadbir bhaktir vinashyati. So in practice of yoga or in practice of devotional service, these 6 things are detrimental in their devotional service. Atyahara, overeating or over-endeavoring. Like somebody, a devotee becomes inspired and he says, let us build a temple. Now where will you build a temple? We'll build one magnificent temple in center of ocean. Is it practical? Is it realistic? Okay, it may be practical and realistic. In Dubai, they are building houses in the ocean. Why can't we do? So like that overthinking. Like you have 100 rupees in your pocket, you go to a restaurant and say, you'll order for 1,000 rupees. Is it realistic? So we have to be realistic. So atyahara prayasascha, over-endeavoring. Prajalpaha, unwanted talk, which is again one most dangerous thing. Gramya Katha, it is considered in Vedic literatures. Keep talking, we'll be wasting our time. Niyamagraha, just for the namesake following or not following the rules and regulations. Like we have many Vedic perspectives, why it has to be followed. See, when we are practicing devotees, we have to respect these material laws. Because they are all guidelines for us to be regulated. Just because we have become devotee, we can say that for preaching purpose we can overdo or do anything and everything. No. Material law should always be respected. Because we are under material world. As long as we are not liberated from the bodily perspective of life, material laws we should respect. Like Ekadasi, we don't eat grains. Like that, many other principles are there. Generally, they say when to cut nails, when not to cut nails. When to cut hair, when not to cut hair. These are all material rules. We should respect that rules. Then, niyamagraha, janasangascha, association with worldly minded people. So even Chaitanya Charitamrita, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also says, asat sangatyaga. We should avoid this asat sangatyaga. There are 2 types of asat. One, Krishna abhakta. One, who is interested in women. These 2 things we should avoid for a practitioner of yoga. Then laulyam, greediness. Greed for anything excessive beyond your capacity is not good for us. That's why eating is also like, items may be many things. You may have 50 items in your platter. So should we eat all 50 items, each full capacity? Or I should eat what I can digest and I can keep my health in a simple way. So all these regulations are there for a practicing yogi so that he can control his bodily senses and focus on spiritual perspectives. So there was one story of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when he was a child. We would have heard many times. But the context of understanding the story, this is about one Brahmana visiting the house of Jagannath Mishra when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was a small boy, baby, Nimai. So one day there was a Brahmana pilgrim who was on various Tirtha Yatras. So he visited Navadvipa, and for his maintenance, and Jagannath Mishra met him. He invited him his house for having his food. And this person was a great devotee of Lord Krishna, and he used to always carry his Balakrishna deity with him, and he used to always chant that Gopala mantra. So this person's regulation was, he will eat only the food which is offered to his deity, and he will not eat anything which is not offered to his deity. So whole day, either traveling or when he is at rest, he will be continuously closing semi-closed eyes, and he used to chant the holy name of the Lord and meditating on the form of the deity, that Gopala deity. So by will of providence, one day he reached to the place of Jagannath Mishra. And by seeing that Brahmana, immediately Jagannath Mishra got up and offered respects. He washed his feet and offered him a seat of token of seat for him to sit down. Then Jagannath Mishra inquired from that Brahmana, where is he from? So Jagannath Mishra says, Vipra bole, Ami udasina deshantari. He said, I am a wandering mendicant. Udasina means one who has no shelter. Wandering person. Chittera vikshepe matra paryatana kari. Wherever my mind takes me, I go there. Chittera vikshepa. Whatever my mind inspires, I will do accordingly. Pranati kariya mishra bolena vachana. Jagatera bhagya se tomara paryatana. So Jagannath Mishra said, your traveling is for the benefit of the world, with folded hands. Jagatera bhagya, because a great devotee, great yogi, you are traveling everywhere, so that you give opportunity for grahasthas for serving you great personalities. Mahat sevam dvara mahur vimuktes. By serving these great personalities, the doors of liberation are open, Bhagavatam says. So Jagannath Mishra says that he was very fortunate to have received his association. So he requested Brahmana to cook for him. The Brahmana immediately agreed happily. So Jagannath Mishra provided him the kitchen and all the ingredients what he had requested him. So Brahmana cooked a luxurious feast and offered it to his beloved deity, Gopala deity. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at that time, he was a very small boy, Nimai, very restless, very prank-oriented. So he knows the heart of all living entities and he knows the heart of especially of his devotees. So he wanted to play and reveal himself to this pure devotee of Brahmana. So this boy who was playing in the dust outside the veranda, he was completely filled with the dust and all. He was naked and he was smiling. And his eyes were very beautiful like early morning sun. And his body anga was very charming, hands and legs were very charming. Without wasting any time, Nimai went up to that offering in front of the deity, picked up a handful and put it into his mouth. And he started laughing at that Brahmana, and that Brahmana immediately started crying. He started saying, Hoy hoy har kari bhagyavanta vipradake, anna churi kari leka chanchala bhalake. That Brahmana was exclaiming. He cried out, Alas, alas, this naughty boy has stolen the rice which is offered to the deity. Anna churi kare. So when this word was heard with the crying of the Brahmana, immediately Jagannath Mishra came there. Asiya dekena Jagannath Mishravara. The best of the Brahmanas, Jagannath Mishra, he came there and when he saw whatever has happened. Bhata kaya hase Prabhu Sri Gaurachandra. So while eating that rice from that Brahmana's plate, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, little Nimai, was laughing at his father. So Jagannath Mishra became very angry and he chased Nimai. He wanted to beat him and he wanted to punish him. But Brahmana controlled him by saying, this is a little small boy. He does not know what is good or what is bad, what is right or what is wrong. So there is no point in chastising him. So seeing that Jagannath Mishra was very sad that his offering has become futile, that it is wasted and he will not be able to have his food at his house. So he again requested him, my dear sir, once again I will provide you the ingredients. Please do not think very bad or anything. Please once again cook for your satisfaction. So again, everybody in the family also requested him to cook for once again. So after repeated requests, the Brahmana agreed. So all the necessary arrangements were made. Again, the kitchen was cleaned, all the utensils were provided, the fresh ingredients were procured. So this time, Mother Sachi took away Nimai to some other place, to some other room. so that this boy is very restless, he might again create disturbance. The ladies, all the family ladies in the house, they started teasing Nimai. Why do you behave in such a way? Why did you steal this Brahmana's food? So Nimai, with a smile and innocent face, he said, I do not have any fault in this. The Brahmana called me. You are chanting Gopala mantra and Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is name, that Gopala himself. You are calling me, and when I come and you are calling me, you are offering me to, you are asking me to eat the food, and when I come and eat the food, you are scolding me. See, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is revealing the truth. But people are not able to understand the truth behind. So everybody started saying, Sabai bole na, ai nimai dhana kati, ki kariba ebe ye tomara gela chati. So they are saying, every one of them, oh deceitful Nimai, what will you do now that you have lost your caste? Kotakara Brahmana, kon kula keba chine, tara bati khai, jati rakiba ke mane. Who knows that Brahmana? What is his caste? Where is he from? Now that you have eaten his rice, how will you maintain your caste? Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu replied, Hasya kahe na Prabhu, ami ye goyala. Laughingly he said, I am a cowhead boy. Brahmanera anna ami kai sarvakala. I always eat the food of the Brahmanas. Brahmanera anna ki gopera jati aya. What, by eating Brahmana's food, what kind of caste can Gopala lose? Eta boli hasiya sabara Prabhu chaya. So saying this, the Lord started smiling, and everyone also smiled. So indirectly, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu revealed that he was Krishna himself. But because of his way, how he is talking and his deceitful nature, nobody could perceive the internal meaning what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was communicating. In the meantime, the Brahmana finished his cooking and he started offering again to the Gopala deity. Again he closed his eyes, and again in the meditation he requested his Gopala deity to honor the food. And somewhere by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu again ran away from his mother and all the women. Everybody were seeing, but he put them in Maya. He came out of that room and went to the food where it is offered, and he again picked up a morsel and put it into his mouth. This time again Brahmana started crying. So Jagannath Mishra became very furious. He picked up a stick and he wanted to beat Nimai. And Nimai ran away from that place. And Jagannath Mishra was chasing him to beat him and to show him punishment. What you have done. So finally all the family members restricted Jagannath Mishra to not beat. And in the meantime, Jagannath Mishra's elder son, Vishwarupa, had come there. And he requested the Brahmana, please do not take it as an offense. Everybody requested him to cook for a third time. But the Brahmana said, no, it's already midnight. There is no point in cooking for a third time. But when Vishwarupa came, and by seeing his bodily future, he was very pleased. He was Nityananda Prabhu, the Balarama himself. By seeing his bodily structure and all, he became so happy. By his demeanor, he said to Jagannath Mishra, you have such a wonderful son, so glorious son. He will make your family very glorious. The parents also felt very happy. So by seeing that boy, he said, Skanda Yajna Sutra Brahma Terja Murti Manta. That boy has Upaveta on his body, on his shoulder. Brahma Teja, very Brahman effulgence. Murti Manta, he said, of a personified form. Murti Beda Janmila Apani Nityananda. He is non-different from Lord Nityananda Prabhu. Sharva Shastrera Artha Sada Spuraye Jihvaya Krishna Bhakti Vakya Matra Karaye Sadaya. The purport of all scriptures is eternally manifest on the tongue of Vishwarupa. He is always engaged in preaching devotion service to the Lord Krishna. So when he heard all the bodily features, everything and all, when by his body, when third time when this boy requested, by seeing his bodily features, Chaitanya of Vishwarupa, he agreed for the third time. But this time he don't wanted to cook anything luxurious. He wanted to cook some simple boiled vegetables and all. So this time Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was taken to some other's house, neighbor's house, and there he was made to sleep. And the parents were all guarding there. And when the cook was finished cooking, when he offered the third time, they asked, where is the boy? Everybody assured, he is sleeping in the house. and the door is locked and everybody are outside, so that no way that this boy can come out of the house. So the third time again when he offered, and when he invited the Lord to eat the food, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared there, and he immediately grabbed the food and he started eating. This time this Brahmana started rolling on the ground and started crying. And he started feeling that why Gopala was testing him so much today, that he was not able to accept the food. But this time nobody could able to hear what he is saying. Everybody were in Yoga Nidra. The Chaitanya Mahaprabhu placed everybody in sleep. Then Lord revealed himself as the Supreme Lord, Krishna. Shankha Chakra Gada Padma Ashtabhuja Rupa. With 8 hands, Shankha Chakra Gada Padma. Eka Haste Navanita, Ara Haste Kaya. In one hand there is butter, and in the other 2 hands remaining he was playing the flute. When they saw that supreme form of the Lord, the Brahmana, who much was decorated with valuable gems and beautiful ornaments, there was a Srivatsa mark on his chest, Kaustubha jewel, fresh forest flowers with a peacock feather. The Lord smiled, and everything from his body, bottom to top, everything were of divine in nature. This Brahmana became unconscious by seeing that beautiful form. He became into an ocean of ecstasy. He lost his senses. He lost his understanding. Then by the transcendental touch of Gaurasundara, that Brahmana regained his consciousness. He became overcome with ecstasy. He could not utter anything. He became almost continuously falling unconscious, again paying obeisances. Ecstatic symptoms, Ashta Sattvika Vikara appeared on his body. Tears flowing like Ganges river. Holding on to the feet of Lord Chaitanya, the Brahmana burst into tears. Then the Lord spoke smilingly to that Brahmana. He said, Prabhu bole, suna suna ai vipravara. Oh my dear Brahmana, please hear to me. Aneka janmera tumi amara kinkara. For many, many lifetimes you are my servant. Niravadi bhava tumi dekite amare. Ataeva ami dheka dilana tomare. So you had an intense desire to see me, therefore I have come before you. Ara janme ei rupe nandagrahe ami deka dilun tomare nasmara taha tumi. In previous life, in the Nanda Maharaj house, we had come to the house of Nanda Maharaja, and there we had an encounter similarly. Yabe ami avatirna hailana gokule seha janma tumi tirthakara kutuhale. So when I appeared in Gokula in the house of Nanda Maharaj, you are also a wandering mendicant going everywhere. Daive tumi atita hoila nandagare. By will of providence, you have become a guest in the house of Nanda Maharaj. Ei mate tumi anna niveda amare. In similar way, you have offered the food to me at that time also. Tahaute ei mata kariya kautuka kai tora anna dekilun ei rupa. So I ate your rice and I showed you the same form when I was as Krishna. Eteka amara tumi janme janme dasa, dasa vinu anya mora na deke prakasha. Because you have been my devotee life after life. You have been my servant. Except for my servants, nobody can actually see this form. Kahilana tomare ei saba gopya kata, karostana iha nahi kahiba sarvata. So because you are very my devotee, confidential, I have explained all these confidential aspects to you. Do not repeat this elsewhere. This is the warning. Yavat takaya mora e avatara, tavat kahile kare karimu samhara. Until I reveal my identity, please do not disclose these details. If you disclose these details, I shall destroy you. Sankirtana aramba amara avatara, Kharaimu sarva deshe kirtana prachara. To start this congregational chanting is the purpose of my this incarnation, and I will spread this holy name everywhere across this world. Brahmadiye prema bhakti yoga vancha kare taha bilaimu sarva prati ghore ghore. In every home, what the love of Godhead, what everybody are hankering, like Devatas, like Brahma, and all the demigods were all hankering for, that I will distribute this love of Godhead, which is rare and desirable in every household. Freely I will be distributing. So giving this instruction, that boy walked out of the house, and everybody got out of the yoga nidra, and everybody were wondering what happened. The Brahmana was very happy. He picked up that rice, he started eating, he sprinkled that rice across his entire body, and he was into a complete ecstasy. He became like a madman. By his shouts of that madman rolling on the ground, putting all the ingredients onto his body, then all the family members came there, and they were all very happy that at least the Brahmana had eaten the food. And they were all very happy that the Brahmana had finally broken his fast and had his offering and had his prasada. So this Brahmana stayed back in Navadvipa. He did not go elsewhere, and every day he used to do Bhikshatana house to house, and every day he used to come to the house of Jagannath Mishra, see baby Nimai, and he used to be satisfied, and he used to go back. So this Brahmana is like a perfect yogi, eats only what is offered to the deity, very regulated in life. So because of his sincerity in his devotional service, Lord bestowed him his darshana and blessed him the opportunity have that love of Godhead. So these yogic principles of what to do, what not to do are very important for an aspiring devotee, so that he can progress in a systematic way, in a regulated way, and he can achieve the destination. That's what is promised in this verse. So we'll learn more aspects in the further verses. More technical terms are there. What and all qualities he has to adopt, and what and all qualities he has to renounce. So I'll stop here. Any questions or doubts? Grandhara Srimad Bhagavatam.